Are you ready to build sustainable confidence? Right now, we're going to look at 7 steps that you can engage in without waiting for the right time. First of all, we're going to talk about beginning and then building your team. Then we'll talk about how to break it down, how to find a mentor, how to filter what might be stopping you, how to find and celebrate small wins, and one of the most powerful questions I've ever learned, which relates to the question of how. As adults, so many times we are afraid to be a beginner. But think back to a childhood experience or your own kids, and they just go out and they play and they have fun without judgment. So don't be afraid to be a beginner and have fun at a concept that you have never tried before, or maybe you haven't tried it recently. Now just be realistic and give yourself a break. Say, hey, I'm a beginner, this is fun, and I have everything to learn by being in this room, being in this environment, or giving something a try. Now we need to find ourselves a support team. And as an adult, this can be a little bit more challenging than when you were a kid. Because you think about when you were a kid, maybe you went to kindergarten, you lent somebody a crayon, and automatically they were your friend. But as adults, that doesn't quite happen that way. Yet, a lot of times we don't really know how to find those encouraging souls to keep us going on our journey. So how do we surround ourselves with encouragement and those that believe you can? First of all, keep searching. You don't always find it the first time. Second, realize that there's a good chance it's not going to be in your friend or family circle. So think about a time when you were really successful at something, you worked really, really hard on it, and maybe you thought your family was going to support you or give you praise, and all they did was give you criticism. We've all been there. We've all done it. And then yet we keep going back and looking for support in places where we're not finding it. So it's okay to have friends and family outside of the circle of what you are working on now, today, with some of your new journeys. So how do we find these people? How do we support them? First, just try some online groups, not support groups, but more like ideas. So for example, piano for adult beginners, ballet for adult beginners. And you can get on there and see what kinds of things people are talking about and support others too. So many times we ask for help or support and we go try new things, but we forget to cheer others on. So when you enter a new environment, whether it's online or whether it's in person, initiate. Go up, introduce yourself, ask the other person their name, let them know you're new, and maybe ask them their favorite thing about coming here to do this activity or this task or work on this idea. As adults, a lot of times we forget how to build those friendship relationships, but these are some good starting steps to build that tribe that supports you, that you also support in return. The next step for confidence is really breaking a task down. So many times as adults, we think we have to do it by ourselves and we have to tackle these complex, really grandiose things in time that doesn't exist. So break it down into the smallest, tiniest strategy where you look at that and you say, of course I can do that today. That is not a problem. Easy peasy, lemon breezy. So you can tell I work with kids a little bit. But for example, let's say you want to build confidence in weight loss and you want to lose 50 pounds and you say nothing's working. And I'm going to ask you to reframe that. What is the smallest step, the actionable strategy you could take today to move towards that goal? So ask yourself, am I sleeping 8 hours a night? And if the answer is no, well, your hormones don't have time to reset. So how could I move that lever even 15 minutes in the right direction? And then take the overall amount of time you think it's going to take to achieve something and double it. That really sets you up for success. The next step is finding a mentor or a model, especially one that is just one step ahead of you, one that was where you are now, but they were there yesterday. Those are the models that you're going to learn the absolute most from and be able to take action with immediately. And just kind of watch. Watch those around you that work out, watch those around you that are working on ideas like you, connect with those on social media that are one step ahead of you, and just ask, how did you get from here to there? A lot of times you'll find that people are willing to be helpful. They're willing to help you go that next step if you take that action to reach out. Step 5 is filtering feedback. Remember, you're going to get a lot of naysayers in whatever you do. You're going to get negative input. But just remember that it's one opinion at one point in time through one perspective. And that lens does not determine your future. You determine your future. And if you can keep it in perspective instead of getting angry about it or perseverating on it, or asking that same person again for the same feedback, then it allows you the opportunity to move forward and engage with those that can support you and help you towards your next steps. Step 6 is putting yourself in experiences where you feel the accomplishment. As I say with my patients, it's the tiny little PRs, it's the small wins. And even in a physical therapy session, if we didn't find a PR or an actionable strategy for the day, I haven't done my job in helping you. So look for what is the smallest thing that I could accomplish today that is a win. Did I get to bed 5 minutes earlier? Did I drink one more glass of water? Did I learn one more note on the piano? Whatever that goal is for you. And as I say to my clients, you can't say can't if you already did. So my power question, instead of saying can't, is how can I? And then use that feedback, use that interaction to pivot, adjust, try it on for size, and then just embrace the journey that follows. So now my next step for you is I've given you so many strategies. Just decide on one or two that you're going to recognize and actively engage with today. Building confidence takes time, and it takes small experiences where you feel those PRs and you decide how to set yourself up for that success. Just let me know which strategy you're going to try, and I'll be happy to be your accountability partner.